Ryan says, am I alright? I should be the one asking
Welcome
you.
back.
But yes, I'm fine, thank you. We all are. The people are fine, the city's fine, and the star showers have stopped. It's almost as if we'd gone back to the peaceful days that followed the knight's return. Almost. Waishtala says, Haven, if you are ready, would you recount to us how the day unfolded? So you reached out to Elidibus at the last, and his heart was moved. Perhaps you did. Perhaps you did not. But the important thing is this, though violence proved unavoidable, you did at least come to understand your foe, and in knowing his hopes and dreams do we best remember him and his legacy. So long as they remain unforgotten, the love he and his brethren bore for one another and the star may yet be rewarded. Alphanod says, you said that an ancient came to your aid. Waishtala says, a gift from Emmett Selsh. He knew of Elidibus's plight. Foreseeing his own death, he made provisions to bring Elidibus's suffering to an end, lest his or so I wildly speculate. It is unlikely we will ever know the truth. The best we can do is to remember events as they happened, no more and no less. As the Ronkin so rightly put it, history is says there you all are. Urianger says, my friend, we were given to understand thou wert injured. Beck says, lie down at a time like this? Don't be absurd. I would have come sooner had. Now, tell me what's happened. Where? I see. Haven. Will you show me his spirit vessel? Beck says yes. Both his soul and memory. Beck says, unlike the others, his ether was not highly charged, and so it did not seem necessary to employ a familiar for the imbuing. But I needed to be certain all the. Urianger says, then 'tis but a question of restoring his soul unto, and as thou didst lately tell me, the success of this process resteth on no more than our friend's soul recognizing his flesh as its own. Then Cred says, given his apparent desire to return to the source with Haven, one would think his soul would be only too happy to be home. No. Surely it wouldn't balk at the relative newness of its. Beck says, so one would hope, but none can speak to the Exarch's heart of hearts. And he can no longer. Furthermore, though I have drawn upon all of my not inconsiderable experience to predict the outcome, the fact remains that there is no direct precedent for what we are attempting. Beck says, will his body accept his soul? Will his essences blend properly? Will he awaken whole of mind? Assuming I have succeeded in tempering your expectations, I should probably add that I did ask the Exarch if he still wished to return to the source in full knowledge of the risks. Beck says a simple enough question, one would think, warranting a single word reply. Yet the answer I received was rather longer than that. Almost comically so, in fact. Regardless, out of respect for the man, Beck says, as I grew older, the burdens I carried became ever more numerous. Burdens which weighed upon my hopes, burying them deep within my breast. So deep that I couldn't, but when I look around me, I am reminded that, no matter how deeply buried they may be, our hopes never truly disappear. No, they are always. I see it in Vothri, who sought to vindicate his existence by creating his paradise. I see it in Ranjit, who forsook his life's cause in order to protect that which he held most dear. I see it in the people, who chose to struggle rather than surrender to despair. And though our struggles may differ greatly, since the very beginning of time, they have all shared that one common thread, hope. We struggle because we have hope. And when the time comes, I too will embrace mine. I will follow my heart. And I will live with all my being, as befits one who has been granted a second chance. There. I told you it was long. And unspeakably sentimental to boot. One would think them the outpourings of a dewy-eyed boy, not the old man the Exarch seems to believe. I mean, really, he's scarcely been alive as long as I've been in. Waishtala says I dare say he is blushing in his vessel. Speaking of which, we should make ready for our journey. Time remains of the essence, needless to say, once we leave, there is no guarantee that we can return. If anyone has unfinished business, I must pay a visit to Slitherbow. Let us reconvene. Urianger says There remain some few matters which require mine attention. May I leave then cred in thy care, child. Rhine says I've been meaning to get some flowers. I thought you might help me choose them. And then we could go to Naboth Aren together, one last. Then Cred says a fine suggestion. Alphanod says well, it's back to Yulmari for me. Amongst other things, I assume you have places of your own to be, Elisai.
Okay, now where are we going? Right here.
Elisai
Okay.
says, as you've probably guessed, I'm going to pay a visit to the inn at Journey's Head. But I want you to come too. I realize you don't need to say any farewells. But the Exarch does, if only in spirit. So I thought you might bring him along, so to speak. I'm sure he'd love the thought of being lugged about on his hero's back, so let's be off, shall we? I can't wait to see how Halric's doing. Elisai says Halric. Halric. Oh gods, don't tell me he's wandered off again. Quickly, Haven. We have to find him. Wilford says, oh, Elisai. I didn't see you there. If you're looking for Halric, he's gone for a walk with one of the others. They were planning to visit the graveyard, if I'm not mistaken. Elisai says, well, that's a relief. Shall we adjourn to the graveyard, then? Elisai says there he is. I was afraid. Contented says oh, there's no need to worry, Halric's safe and well. He's been showing good progress, though his steps usually bring him to this particular spot. Elisai says oh. I wasn't aware he. Contented says he doesn't. It's Tesleen, we buried it here in her honor. Elisai says so he remembers. Contented says what brings you back so soon, out of interest? I didn't think the next. Elisai says no. It isn't. Look, I realize this is sudden, but rest assured the treatments will continue. Becklug will come to oversee them in my. Contented says I see. You did mention that you and your friends were searching, needless to say, we'll be sorry to see you go, but I know everyone will be happy for you. Happy and grateful. You've done so much for us. Achieved what none of us did, and we'll see to it that your good work continues, and that no more poor souls are buried here before their time. So rest easy, and take care. Elisai says thank you. I will miss you. But it isn't time to say our farewells quite yet. So if there are any tasks that need doing, hunting beasts, fetching water, and what have you, I mean to make use of every last moment here. Halric says the time left to you is precious. Elisai says that's right, Halric. Those words will guide you true. So never, and neither will I. What? I'm not crying. I just have sand in my eye, that's all. Ahem. As I mentioned, I mean to stay here as long as possible. In the meantime, perhaps you could go and look in on the others. Alphanod, for instance. If anyone is crying, it will be him.
Travel to. Oh, what's going on down there?
Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes.
The thought of never seeing you again is more than my poor heart can bear.
Oh, it's you. As you can see, Alphino has broken the news. I don't know how to console her. She thinks we'll be lost without him.
You'll never let me forget it, will you? I'll have you know I completed the promised painting in the end. Be that as it may, there are times only words will suffice. Lady Chai, I have a confession to make. On the day we ousted Lord Vorthree, when I revealed the truth of his tyranny and your complicity in his crimes, I did so with great trepidation. Not out of fear that you wouldn't listen, but that you might never recover. There was a time when I too, in my hubris, believed myself worthy to lord it over others. And when the lie was laid bare, when I was forced to confront the cost, the lives lost, it all but destroyed me. To awaken from a naive dream to so harsh a reality, I would have understood had you all surrendered to despair. But you didn't surrender. Far from it. You picked yourselves up and rose to the challenge. You found a path forward and the strength to walk it, and to keep walking it, day after day. Though what struck me is how much faster you found it than I did.
Really? That felt pretty slow to me. But rest assured, we'll make Yulmore into a nation anyone would be proud to call home. Eventually. You can still come and go as you please, I believe. When we have good tidings to report, I may trouble you to be their bearer. There may also be less than good tidings, in which event I hope I can trouble you for your counsel.
I should be honored to provide it, Master Chai.
Oh, Alphino, I know you aren't one to sit still, but do remember to take your ease from time to time. And no matter where you are, remember that there are people here who are praying for your health and happiness. Our brave and gentle artist, you have our love, now and always.
And you mine. Please take care.
Alphinaud says 'tis a strange feeling, Haven, to stand in the company of our friends, knowing that I will never see them again. I struggle to reconcile it in my mind, but this I know, I shall cherish my memories of Norvrend, of every soul I met here, for the rest of my days. And I shall look forward to your tales of their endeavors.
Oh. Alfie?
Forgive
The
me.
journey continues.
I realize now that I never asked you what business brought you here. Can I be of assistance? Alysi said that, did she? Well, as you can see, I am quite alright now, unlike her, by the sound of it. Ahem. Perhaps you might consider visiting Urianger next? Given his conversance with the idiosyncrasies of the Fey folk, I doubt it will be an issue, but a small part of me worries that they may not relinquish him willingly. As such, I would feel better if you were to look in on our friend, assuming you have the time, of course. Urianger. So thou wouldst grant the Exarch a final tour of the realm which hath been his home these 100 years? A noble gesture. As for Master Alphanod's concerns, thou mayest rest assured that all is well here. Far from detaining me, our Fey friends have agreed to assist in the transportation of these tomes unto the Cabinet of Curiosity. Naught more remaineth to be done. Regardless, 'tis well that thou didst come, for I had been meaning to show something to thee. An object I chanced to find after thy victory over Elidibus. Though it hath lost its radiance, 'tis unmistakably a crystal of light. One that did, in all likelihood, once belong to Ardbird. Having been interred with his body, it would have remained upon his person after his possession by Elidibus. And when his mortal form was, forgive mine indelicacy, consumed by thy foe to fuel his transformation, I posit that the crystal did tumble free. Save that which doth abide in thee, it is all that remaineth of our friend. And if thou art willing, I would have thee deliver it unto Ceto. I can think of no worthier recipient than he, and no more fitting a bearer than thee. As ever, thou wilt find the Amaro in Wolectorv. My thanks, Haven. Ceto says, "Ah, full glad am I to see you safe and well. Rumors spoke of strange, spectral foes bent on your destruction. But with the sky returned to normal, I assume all is well again. So, to what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?"
Is that Ardbert's crystal? So it is. It has changed, but I would know it anywhere. However, did you come by it? Then, even in death, his enemies found a way to profit from his sacrifice. Oh, it grieves me to think of his body being used for evil ends. But, thanks to you, his honor is restored, and he may finally find peace. No words can express my gratitude. I will keep this crystal safe to the end of my days. Rest easy, my friend. You have earned it. Your soul? How can this be?
Seto, my old friend. You've grown.
Oh, Ardbert, how I've missed you. I'm sorry I couldn't keep you safe, or even console you. Had I only learned to speak sooner, I would have told you how much you meant to me, how much I cared.
I knew. I always knew. But I'm happy to hear it nonetheless. Thank you, Seto. My partner in crime.
I see. His journey continues. Then I will not yet bid him rest. With you, he may look forward to many more adventures. It has been a while since last I flew. Perhaps I too will go on a little adventure? Ride the winds, seek the horizon? Yes, I think perhaps I will.
If you're still on Exodus, there's a S rank in Yaktel. What?
Yeah, I heard you, sorry.
I can't flag it, but there we go. I forgot you're not in the you're not on Lily.
Nope. But you said it's in Yakta?
Yeah. There you go.
Is it closer to Ikbrax or Mammoth?
I don't know.
Urianger says,
It's on the
thou art
left.
returned.
I think it's on the left side.
Tell me, how did Sito receive thine
I'll try
offering?
Mammoth.
Remarkable. 'Twas fated that thou shouldst be the one to undertake this task, I think. As Ardbert liveth on in thee, so too shall he and his comrades live on in the hearts of the people of Norbrand.
I was correct, Mammoth is the closest one.
And their tale, now rightly told, shall inspire new warriors of light for generations to come. Remarkable. Urianger says, now, assuming thou intendest to continue thy tour, might I suggest Slitherbow as thy next destination? The task of tidying up one's abode is seldom light work, yet I suspect Wishtala's is heavier than most. Suffice it to say, a pair of helping hands might not go amiss. Waishtala says, and what is this? Have you come to spy on me? Waishtala says, does Urianger truly think me so slovenly? The nerve. Loath as I am to disappoint, I put my affairs in order some time ago. To everyone save Runner, that is.
Bye,
He's
Pouty.
nowhere to be seen.
I was trying to join a party finder.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to join a party finder. I was like, why can't I join any of these parties? And somebody was like, it says you're in a party, Lily. I was like, oh shit, I forgot.
That's too funny.
Toya. For too long I have remained silent, but no longer. I could not bear it if you were to leave. Please, stay. I beg of you.
Runar, please.
I jest. At least in part. What I came to say is this. Thank you. Without your wisdom, your strength, and your kindness to guide us, our people would still be lost. We will never forget you, Master Matoya. Wherever your journeys may take you, you will always be in our hearts.
And you in mine. Remember that your people's journey, that our people's journey is yet ongoing. Your lives will change, and so too will your dreams. Yet come what may, you need not forsake your time-honored traditions, nor less your beliefs.
Oh god.
But neither should you be beholden to them. For it was with curiosity and courage that the Knights Blessed first triumphed of pursuit.
Indeed they are. And so, until we return to the Sunless Sea, we shall endeavor to live our lives to the fullest.
That is well. But however great your strides,
This thing is taking
there
like
may
a
yet
metric
come a day
fuck
when
ton
the
of
challenges you
damage from
face
all the
cannot
level
be
100s
surmounted
that are on
alone.
his ass.
On such a day,
On such a day.
Holy shit.
you may call on me. Since a means to travel between worlds exists, you can be sure I will find a way to employ it. And there remain so many mysteries here that want for solving.
Master Matoya!
Runar, really?
There you go.
Bye-bye, Neozatel.
Yep.
Waishtala says honestly, he's a boy in the body of a man.
I was just like blissfully
Anyway,
AFK.
it is time we headed back to the Crystarium. You still have to take the Exarch to Naboth Aran? I see. Very well.
Weird. Did OBS
OBS crashed for me for a minute.
That's what I thought. It did the same thing for jams.
But looks like I'm back. Can you double check I'm back?
You are back. It says you've been live for half a minute now.
Half a minute? Damn. Yeah, I'm still in the red. On OBS.
Wow.
Let me know when I get to Twine, because I want to see if it's actually up to date.
You're in Twine.
Oh, okay.
Magnus says, you too. Magnus says, I see. Yes, then Cred was here, and Rhine too. They said they wanted to. Jarek says that's right, the old girl's up and running again. But we didn't just put her, no, with a little bit of help from Master Chai. We made her faster. And stronger.
Alright, chat, it looks like I am back.
Oh yes,
After
the future of trolleys is looking brighter than ever.
I don't even know what happened.
Whisper it, but I reckon it might be time to reach for the stars with the trolley to dwarf. Thaf says if you ask me, we'd be better off making them smaller. That way. Jarek says but that's genius. Magnus says enough. You can daydream in your own time. In case you've forgotten, that's why we turned to China's, by the way, not to make the one trolley we've got go faster. We needed help getting a few Talos back in working. Magnus says we were out testing them when your airship came down, as a matter of fact. You seem to have a... Then Cred says we're back. Our thanks for... Haven. What are you doing here? Don't tell me the others... That's a relief. At any rate, we've done what we came to do, which means I'm ready to leave. Magnus says not to pry, but what's going on? Then Cred says you could say that. Magnus says so you're heading home. I'm just a simple miner and don't know much about this world traverse. But the young lady here, she'll be looked after. Rhine says I'll be fine, thank you. I have a place to stay at the Crystarium, besides which, I've recently made a new friend. Her name is Gaia, and she'll always be there if I need her, so please don't worry. I'll be fine. Magnus says if you say so. It being a matter of life and death, I suppose you have to leave, but I for one would still be torn. If the choice were mine, I'm not sure I could bear to be parted from. Then Cred says no. But it's for the best. Rhine has chosen to walk her own path, besides, I have my own responsibilities, and I wouldn't be setting a very good example if I neglect. Magnus says humph. Perhaps not. Well then, young lady. If there's anything you need, anything at all, you're to call on us. It may surprise you, but we can. Rhine says thank you, Magnus. Then Cred says shall we, then? Rhine says if you've nowhere left to visit, we can go back to the Crystarium. Rhine says oh, it's you. You're probably wondering why I'm not with the others. It's just, I always knew that everyone would leave one day. And I always hoped and prayed that we would find a way to send them home. But now that the time has come, I just feel, lost. Lost and lonely. I don't want our last moments together to be sad. I want to hold myself together, just long enough to say the things that I need to say. Rhine says right. Thank you, Haven. I think we all feel braver with you around. Go on ahead and join the others. I'll be along after I've taken a few deep breaths.
That's everyone then. We've all said what we needed to.
Even as we speak, Backlog undertaketh their final inspection of our spirit vessels. When thine own preparations for the journey are complete, thou art to present thyself in the ocular.
Everyone? I want to thank you all, on behalf of the First. You, and Minfilia, and the Exarch. Without each and every one of you guiding us, fighting for us, we wouldn't be standing here now. There wouldn't even be a here. And no words can express our gratitude. We still have a lot to do. Countless trials to overcome. But if it ever seems too much, I'll think of our time together. The happy moments, and the sad. I will remember it all. And it will give me the strength to carry on without you. Because you made me who I am. Minfilia. Reen. To honor these names and these memories, I will stand with all the people of this land and strive for a better tomorrow.
Thancred, I believe the honor of responding should rightfully be thine.
I know better than most how much you've grown, and I have every confidence you'll make your people proud. Gods know I'm proud of you. I always will be. You deserve all the happiness in the world, and more.
Literally stay home all night and just play Then you make how much?
Might we also say a few words?
why this is just about all of you.
To see you off seemed the least we could do. You risked your all for us, fought for a realm not your own. Before you came, we had never known the beauty of the night sky. Or the joy of your company. Though it saddens us deeply to bid you farewell, it has ever been our way to send off friends with a smile. Wherever your road should lead, we shall pray for your safety. And following your brave example, we shall continue to fight for the Crystarium.
With or without us, you've always taken good care of this city. I don't doubt for a moment you'll continue to do so.
Aye, a more resilient people we have never known. As resilient and enduring as the tower that watches over you.
To the last, we did not question the Exarch about his past. It is only now, when he can no longer tell us, that we believe we know the answer. We have heard what became of him, and what is about to be attempted. All will be well. Of this we are certain. How could it be otherwise, when every soul in the Crystarium is praying for it with all their heart? And so, when our Lord awakens, I bid you give him a message. Tell him he needn't worry about us. That he need no longer hide who he truly is. That he should live his own life to the fullest. And that if he should ever find himself reminiscing on the past with a smile, we shall be smiling with him. Will you tell him this? Thank you. Please look after him for us. I dare say we have all the good wishes we can carry. Let us be on our way.
Reflections in
Rhine
Crystal.
says, well, I suppose it's time. Are you ready, Haven?
But I'm on the final quest of 5-3.
Alright. Let's not keep the others waiting.
Which means that I am now on December 2020.
Only took you 4 years to get there.
This account started 56 weeks ago. Thank you very much.
I'm just being a smartass.
I know. But 7th of December, 2023. So it's been a month. It's been a year, a month,
Riam
and a week.
says, Mistress Haven. But I am... Beck says, there you are. I take it you are ready for the journey. The spirit vessels are primed, and our company complete. At a word from you, we shall begin. Upon beginning the soul imbuing ritual, several cutscenes will play in sequence.
Oh, this one doesn't say how long it is.
It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety.
Okay, I'm gonna actually edit this so it goes through. Stopwatch so I know how long it takes.
Beck says, very good. I shall distribute the vessels at once.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Okay.
All right then. Pray proceed as instructed, beginning with your memories.
Welcome back.
The first step is complete.
Thank you.
And all appeareth to be in order.
Well, that just leaves our souls then. In your hands, Angelo.
I don't know how long I'll be back for. Got hit with a huge wave of tiredness, so.
Aw.
I mean, I have been up since like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
It is done! The vessels have received both their memories and their souls. I hereby entrust them to your care. They belong to you now. Just be sure to guard them well, yes?
This will work, won't it?
Our theories have held thus far. But I make no promises about what is to come. Even the greatest mages in history knew better than to transport a soul across the rift. We, my dear, are in unknown territory. Prepare as we might, we cannot account for all possibilities. And it is in such circumstances that accidents are wont to occur. Yet miracles do happen. So let us pray and will our friends home.
I won't stop praying until I know they're safe.
All safely stowed away? I do hope so. All that remains then is to step into the mirror. Go now, and safe travels.
I have 16 quests to go for Endwalker.
Yay. I don't want to do any more Mandeville quests, but I feel like if I don't do the ones that they posted, it's gonna muck me over somehow.
Why?
I just have a feeling that they're gonna continue the relic weapons on Mandeville.
When is the relic weapons coming? I'm actually surprised.
I mean, why would they continue to release Mandeville quests? It like ended.
Well, I don't know that yet. I'm still in Heavenswood, Mandeville.
Oh, yeah.
Alfie's back. Good morning.
Did it? Are we?
Oh, that's out. That's Alistair. Never mind.
I was gonna say it's Alistair. Come on. You gotta be able to tell them apart.
When they're wearing the same clothes, how can you?
Well, you can tell by like their face shape.
Oh, you're back. You're back. You're all back.
My tooth just started bleeding.
Payback for eating Wendy's without me.
You're the one who paid for it.
Thank you.
That's true.
My body feels like a sack of potatoes, but otherwise...
Everybody's awake now.
That said, I doubt any of us will be fit to travel for some while. May we leave the rest to you?
Forget what I just
The vessel beareth our comrade's blood. With it in thy possession, the way will surely open before thee.
This cutscene is 9.5 minutes long so far.
What? But you've only just got here.
The cutscenes do tend to seem much longer in the
Might
post.
I trouble you to brew us all a pot of your special tea?
Yeah. But I am 88.5% done Shadow plus post Shadow.
Nice. Oh my god.
Freezing rain advisory. Oh, that's from me. Shit.
Beyond imagining.
I was gonna say it's still snowing here, and though it shows that there's nothing on the radar.
Yeah, we have a freezing rain advisory for tomorrow morning.
More distant and faint.
And we are supposed to get approximately 1 inch of snow.
And voices
No, sorry.
Those you have met.
We are supposed to by 6 a.m. Supposed to get 2.5 inches of snow by 6 a.m.
Remember this.
Come get your snow back.
That no matter
it has been snowing here since Tuesday.
Yeah, and you're the one who wanted the snow.
The road you walked to get there.
Yes, I do want this.
For in times of hardship, when you fear you cannot go on, the
Why do I feel like it's taking longer and longer to find things in the tank?
You have felt, the prayers you have whispered and answered, they shall ever be your strength and your comfort.
We're now at 10 minutes, 20 seconds for this cutscene.
That honestly doesn't surprise me. Oh, God.
This I hope, I believe, here at memory's end.
Yep. I'm hungry. All in ice cream sandwiches.
Oh no.
Well, your fault. I'm not tanking this. Why did I decide to do this as a tank?
What is it, Alize? Are you all right? Do you still feel under the weather?
Physically, I couldn't be better. Thanks to Kryle's administrations, I'm already looking forward to our next fight.
Alright, so we have one emo tank and one not emo tank.
Seriously? Don't you have anything to say about that?
No less impressive than our
Wow.
You've outdone yourself, Tataru.
The The
To give credit where it's due, I had help from a certain fiery pixie who visited me in my dreams. They gave me all the information I needed to get the details just right.
Novice Netflix
For your
being dead.
weapons,
Last
though, I
message
needed
was
a lot more help.
half an hour ago.
Our favorite heads of state were happy to place their finest craftsmen at my exclusive disposal. Oh, and speaking of the Alliance leaders, they all expressed their unreserved elation at your safe return, and promise to come and see you in person as soon as they can.
They really needn't have gone to such trouble. But we'll be keeping these gifts all the same. Do pass on our gratitude.
I realise we haven't taken up new martial arts, nor have I ever been one to set much store by appearances. But I can't help feeling a certain lack of, I don't know, personal development.
I quite understand. But as you observed, the others had the more pressing need. Rest assured, our turn will come.
If I expend any more ether, I swear I will blink out of existence. I need a bite to eat. To take you a cup of tea, if you would be so
Okay, I don't
kind.
think that's fair.
And something sweet.
By Mistress Kryle's exhausted state, may I assume that the ward hath been restored?
Indeed. We succeeded in weaving it anew, albeit at a slightly diminished potency than when I had Becklug's assistance.
Hey, Pocket Hero Streaming. Thank you for the
There's
follow.
no cause for concern, though. The tower is not easily reached, never mind breached. And even should some few succeed, their presence won't escape.
It's Quava!
Excellent. Said duty thus discharged, thou art free to go wheresoever thy fancy taketh thee. Upon which note, hast thou perchance come to a decision? The offer remaineth open.
Well, if you're certain that's what you... I mean, if you think
He's so cute. He's so shy.
Right. I accept. Henceforth, I shall count myself a scion of the seventh dawn. Grahatir, at your service. When I was a boy, many long years ago, I yearned to stand tall as the heroes of Eld. But, like a fool, seeking to pluck the stars from the heavens, my every attempt to reprise their deeds fell short.
Cutest, bestest cat boy.
Help! Somebody help!
17 minutes for this cutscene.
Did I do this one?
I don't know why
shit,
did you...
welcome back. Hi.
Hello.
Flock of them! Please!
I'm just trying to figure out what made me decide
I could do with a little rampage myself.
that
What? Now wait just a...
doing this
Here we go again.
Eden promise was a good idea.
I will join the fray when I've finished my tea.
Thus did the Avatar of Destruction descend, and in her wake leave naught but tears and ash.
And then, one day, an all but forgotten dream from my youth stood before me, in the flesh.
You okay?
My foot was in the...
What?
My foot was in the AoE and I got yoinked off?
Oh no!
No!
No.
So it was that a new adventure began.
I can't believe I got yoinked off. I don't know who read me, thanks.
The memory of a dying world's end.
Alright, do I second chance my Wondrous Tales?
I haven't even done any of my Wondrous Tales yet for the week.
I have one line.
I would keep that.
And not use my second chances.
Take a send me a message on Facebook with your Wondrous Tales.
Oh my god.
Splendid. Truly splendid.
It's nothing
And
exciting,
my
it
own
looks the
preparations,
same.
you will be pleased to hear, proceed apace. Oh yes, they proceed very well indeed, frighteningly so. And we owe it not least of all to this singularly useful
Oh, it's a really
body
blurry
of
picture.
chance to find.
It's too late to second chance. You already had 8.
Now all but destroyed.
Yeah, but you can do it until you have 9.
No, you can only do it until you have 7.
No, my second chance just came up.
You shouldn't be able to. It should only allow you to do it up
Yeah.
until...
No, it lets you do it until you claim your last one.
You're gonna sit here and argue with somebody who's been playing longer than you?
It literally says you can only do it till you have 7.
Where?
As soon as I get out of this cutscene, I'll show you.
No better way to move men and expedite plans than with its alluring glint. Would you not agree? But wait, were we not acquainted, you and...
Oh, it's Xenos.
Should our familiarity cause you distress, I beg your forgiveness.
What did you say your name was?
Oh, a dagger through my heart, that my deepest desire should forever remain unfulfilled, to live unrecognized, to die forgotten. Oh. So it goes. Whatever this flesh may have been before, it serves only as a vessel now. And I, faithful Fandaniel, labor only to advance my lord's ambitions. Speaking of which, with the palace in our hands, We may now proceed with the next phase of the plan. But how very odd. Despite all our havoc wreaking, old Elidibus did not deign to appear. Dare I hope that the last of the unsundered is gone?
Van Daniel says imagine it. Bound no more by the shackles of mouldering memories, of damnable duty. Free at last to live for the moment.
Your radiance, but give the word, and I shall go forth and prepare for you your hunting ground.
That which awaited was a fell beast. Ferocious, ravenous, remorseless. Do as you will. It has been too long, my friend, and insufferably dull in your absence. When you return to me, you will share everything. Every blow will be a story unto itself. Every triumph, every kill. Rest assured, we shall have a fitting stage for our reunion. Oh yes, to reprise that transcendent moment, I will set this world ablaze. And we shall dance before the pyre. The beast shall kindle the flames of the apocalypse.
This cutscene is almost as long as Prey.
Chapter in the tale of this star.
That cutscene was only 4 minutes less than Prey in itself.
I'd rather sit through that cutscene than go through Prey.
Jiraha says, tell me, Haven, do you think I was excessively familiar earlier? In my tone and mannerism? I thought it better to be familiar than formal if we are to be comrades. But now I worry that it may have detracted from the gratitude and respect I harbor for everyone. Jiraha says perhaps we might consider it a nod to my regrettably less than humble beginnings. Yes. Yes, that will do. Being free to live as one pleases is not without its challenges. In a way, it was easier when I had a mission that consumed my every waking moment. It provided me with a focus, a constant push in a singular direction. By the way, was casting spells always so draining? I had quite forgotten what it was like to do it without the tower. I've rarely felt so exhausted. Or hungry. Yet if all I did was bend the bow, I would be of limited use to you on your adventures. So I shall persevere. Whoever I might have been before, I am now a scion, and an inexperienced scion at that. A green initiate, eager to learn how best to contribute to the cause, that he might follow in the footsteps of his inspiration. Jira Hatia is now available as a trust companion.
Okay, so yeah, second chance changes the location of all shields, only available when the current shield count is between 3 and 7. So when you were at 8, you could not do it. It says it right there, between 3 and 7.
Oh, whatever. I don't really care. Oh, yay.
Kryl says,
It's not like I can turn it in anyways.
Haven.
So.
Come to look in on our friends. Rest assured, everyone is quite well. I've been keeping a close eye on them, and have satisfied myself that they are all in fine health.
What is this? Manderville quest.
As a matter of fact, they're just about to convene in Dawn's Respite to discuss how best to use their pent-up energy. Let's join them, shall we?
Well, my friends, now that we have all settled back into our bodies, it is time we resumed our duties in earnest. Let us speak of our plans.
Ever since the Emperor's death, it's been one unsettling rumor after another. I've a mind to pay a visit to Garlemald to ascertain the truth of the matter.
A prudent endeavor. 'Tis of the essence that we establish the full extent of the threat, not least if it should prove that Xenos doth indeed orchestrate events from the shadows. In light of which possibility, I shall accompany thee on thy mission. Be assured that thou shalt find me more a help than a hindrance. Thou requirest another to imbue thine ammunition, dost thou not?
Wish they changed Stoli's outfit.
Yeah.
But none of the Scions got upgraded outfits.
Assuming that's settled, there's something I've been meaning to look into as well.
Welcome back, everyone!
Lise!
You're fine now, right? No more headaches or keeling over?
That's right. We're fighting fit and raring to go.
The famous Lise Hext, former scion and hero of the Alamegan resistance.
I don't believe we've met. Really? It's so easy to assume that all Archons are acquainted.
But then I suppose your fields of expertise are rather different.
Grahatir, at your service. I have read much and more about your exploits, Commander. It is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance.
Likewise. The others told me all about you.
Do not be so sure. Words scarcely do justice to the vital role he played in our victory in the first. A more dependable comrade one would be hard-pressed to find.
Oh, right. I did glance at the report. But I'd be lying if I said I understood half of it. Well, that's a lot to take in. Just to be clear, this means we're not heading for another calamity, does it?
Shorn of their unsundered master's leadership, what Ascians remain shall struggle to see their plans to fruition. And though I would ever advise caution, I believe we may rest easy for a time.
I'll take that as a yes. Even so, I don't know what to make of this business about Hydaelyn and Zodiac being primals.
A difficult truth to bear, yes. But at last we understand the nature of our adversary. And if there are no further calamities, neither will there be rejoinings, meaning Zodiac will never regain his full strength. Even so, as the oldest and mightiest of primals, he remains a force to be feared. Though his is a power born of the desire for salvation, we have seen the havoc it may wreak. And it falls to us to ensure that it is never again brought to bear upon this star.
But tell us, Lys, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit?
What do you mean? Isn't seeing my long-lost comrades reason enough? Alright, there was one other matter. I have a message from the Alliance, and before you ask, yes, it's about the Empire. So, after Emperor Varys' assassination, it seems his cousin Nerva made a bid for the throne. The trouble is, he wasn't the only one with designs on it, and it didn't take long for a civil war to break out. And it's not just in the provinces. Early reports say huge swathes of the imperial capital have been reduced to rubble. The Alliance will soon convene in Alamigo to decide on a course of action, and we were hoping you'd come along.
Well, as it happens, Urianger and I were just this moment planning a little trip to Garlemald, and we should be grateful for any advice the Alliance can provide on how best to make the most of our visit.
To Alamigo, then.
Why don't you go on without me? There's something I need to look into.
Oh, forgive me. You were just telling us. What is it, if I may ask?
I want to find a way to cure the tempered.
Of course. You think it may be possible to adapt the treatment you use to help those corrupted by the Sin Eaters?
I'm sorry, a cure for tempering? But that would change everything. Alizé, consider yourself uninvited. Go and find us this cure.
I'll do my best. I was hoping you might join me. Don't worry if not, though. I won't hold it against you if you'd rather attend a stuffy meeting. I knew you'd say yes.
What?
I'll come too, if you don't mind. that is.
Mind? I'm sure they would be glad of your company. Pray, enjoy your time together with your hero.
No. That's not... I mean, I simply thought my knowledge might be of some use.
We shall be on our way then. Godspeed.
Elisai says, when I set out to save Halric, I think Ga Buletin was always at the back of my mind. And having proved that the light corrupted are not lost, I am convinced that the... Elisai says, similar to those corrupted by the Sin Eaters, the ether of Ga Buletin's soul has been, and though the root cause is different, perhaps the solution is the same. Jiraha says it is by no means an unreasonable hypothesis, Elisai. Elisai says if there's even a chance we can save Ga Buletin, we have to try. But however much I'd like to race over to Limsa and set to work, there's no room for recklessness. As I'm sure Becklug would remind us, we still know little and less about the soul. Any number of things could go wrong if we don't exercise due caution, and so, before attempting anything, we should learn all we possibly can about There's just one problem. Research into the condition has long since ground to a halt, and the combined work of the many scholars involved doesn't exactly amount to a wealth of knowledge. Jiraha says not of the modern scholars, perhaps. But what of their ancient counterparts? I know the Allegans took a more... And if what we seek is to be found anywhere, it would surely be at the Atherochemical Research Facility. Elisai says, where they experimented on primals and their worshippers, yes. Good thinking. I've never actually been there myself, but I did read the reports on it. Tataru says hehehe. An airship? Meet me at the northern bank of Silver Tear Lake, I've got a little surprise for you. Oh, and come.
Oh.
Tataru says I give you the bonanza, the science I built her as a company project with help from our friends at the Rising Stones, and named her for luck and prosperity.
Whatever.
Elisai says Tataru, this is amazing. Jiraiya says our garments were impressive enough, but to build an entire airship. I see the annals did not exaggerate the many talents of the science. Tataru says he. I'd also introduce myself as your pilot, except the training didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. But that's alright, because we've... The Bonanza is equipped with a full complement of monocutters, by the way. Feel free to use them to get around, but enough talk, it's time to fly. Elisai says honestly, Sid would be jealous of the way that airship flies. Tataru has outdone herself. Anyway, here we are, on Azitlla, and Alphanaud's report did not do the scale of this place justice. Jiraiya says this appears to be Helix, which means we stand in the Alpha Quadrant. To the east lies the Beta Quadrant, and... Jiraiya says yes, I believe I have my bearings. Though this is my first time on Azitlla, I do have some familiarity with the place thanks to the records in the Crystal Tower. Jiraiya says unless I am mistaken, this path leads to an Aetheryte, beyond which there will be an information terminal. I suggest we begin our search there. Jiraiya says, and here is the terminal. A moment while I search the archives for references to tempering. Ah, there we are. Elisai says Iconic Corruption, an overview. Jiraiya says indeed. Let us see what... Jiraiya says Confound it. Elisai says what? No. Jiraiya says not from here, I'm afraid. but it may be that another copy of the report exists elsewhere. Alisai says it says here the report was written by someone named Owen. Is it like? Jiraha says I would say it is a distinct possibility. Assuming he was a researcher here, he will have had quarters on the Habisphere. We can ascertain. Jiraha says let us return to the Bonanza and avail ourselves of the Monocutters. We will need them to reach our... Alisai says I forgot, you already have a suitable means of transport, don't you? No need to waste time accompanying us back to the ship. Jiraha says if the late Owen did indeed have a chamber here, this node will be able to tell us its number. Jiraha says there. From what I recall of the layout, it should be somewhere in... Administrative says warning, an evacuation order is presently in effect. Entry to the... Jiraha says foiled again. In all likelihood, the order would have been imposed during the 4th Umbral Calamity, and I doubt it will be lifted. Administrative says BZZZ. Energy level. Alisai says well, surely there must be some other way to gain access. Jiraha says ere we resort to that, I have an idea. Were we to send a surge of energy through yonder control mechanism, it should prompt the system to As for a suitable energy source, a concentrated lightning shard might suffice. Happily, I seem to recall that they are known to form at points of stagnant ether throughout the... Alisai says you seem to recall. Are you honestly telling me that? Jiraha says ha. I am. A report sent to the capital mentioned that lightning aspect ether was prone to pooling on the continent, resulting in a minor detail, I grant you, but in my role as caretaker of the Crystal Tower, there was no such thing as too much alak. Besides, my studies helped me to feel connected to the source. I must have explored this facility 1,000 times in my mind, but to finally stand here with the two of you, 'tis more exhilarating than I can well Now then, the lightning shard. If I may, I suggest we split up and search the Beta Quadrant. Oh, but beware of sprites, they... Alisai says now you're just showing off. Which makes me think we should make a contest of this. The first to return here with a... Jiraha says very well. It would be my...
Okay. That's gonna do it for me.
You're hopping off? Well, it is 1:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
so...
I kind of have a headache now, too, so...
That sucks.
Alright, well... I will talk to you probably sometime tomorrow, maybe.
Yep. I'm gonna be taking my bottles in before I go live.
Okay.
Only because I have like 6 bags.
It's all good. I got tons of stuff to do anyways, so...
I'm
I don't
hoping...
know when I'll get on.
I'm hoping to be on
Disembodied
by...
says bravo.
I'm hoping to be
That
on by
was
1.
quite a show, adventurer. Why?
Yes,
Like 1
or...
your time.
Disembodied
Okay.
says I appear to have forfeited our little race. Congratulations.
I will talk to you later today.
Sounds good. Have a good
Yes,
have a good nap.
Get some sleep.
Bye.
Jira says forgive me. The scene so reminded me of our first. Well, the contest continues, so you had better hurry back. Jira says thank you, Haven.
Oh god, I am totally nerding out in the Novice Network right now.
Yeah, I know you are. I'm watching.
I'm absolutely nerding out in the Novice Network right now.
Jira says it appears Elisai had no luck, so victory is yours. Congratulations. Now then, may I have the shard? Elisai says what is it that makes you so much better at finding things? What do you have that I don't? Jira says
funny thing is, I've actually never watched Star Trek
on
5.
numerous occasions. I suspect we could
I've
both
actually
learn a
never
great
watched
deal
5.
from Haven, and not only about the secrets of adventuring.
I've never watched any of
But
it,
come, we should attend to our mission.
so I have no clue what you guys are going on about.
So Star Trek 5 has been rated as the basically Star Trek 5. If it wasn't basically made to
Jira
please
says
William
excellent.
Shatner,
The system responded
it would have
exactly
destroyed
as
Star
intended.
Trek as an entire franchise.
Only one obstacle remains: the security systems within. Should they be triggered, they could
went
make
over my
life
head.
rather.
Yeah, it almost
Jira
destroyed the
says in light
franchise.
of which, pray leave the rest to me. If I am right, my royal blood should allow me. Elisai says assuming this place works like the Crystal Tower, yes. But if it doesn't, you'll be on your own. I want you to promise us that. Jira says I promise. Wish me luck. Elisai says well, nothing for it but to sit. Elisai says I'm sure this Owen fellow was very learned, but iconic corruption, an overview sounds like a studium thesis. Elisai says lest you wonder, mine was about the combat applications of ether. Elisai says Alphanaud's was more philosophical, of course. Political, dare I say it? He chose to write a controversial subject, to say the least. Alisai says he asserted that Charlayan's knowledge should rightly be used to protect all life on the star, in direct opposition to the country's
Fucking
cherished
liar.
policy of non-intervention. Being a leading member of the forum, our father was. Alisai says at the time, of course, Alphinaud was utterly convinced of his views and would cheerfully argue to the death of anyone who saw
my
things
camera's
differently.
not on. You don't know I'm
By
not
which
fine.
I mean, the rows were long.
I can hear you
To be
laughing.
fair to him, though,
Well,
he's
yeah,
since learned
I
to be a
got-
little more open-minded. Alisai
How
says
do you
that
know
one
that the
believes.
laughter is just covering up
And
my
I-
tears?
Jiraiya says I should have liked to meet the young Alphinaud.
I don't.
For what it's worth,
Exactly,
my
I don't
thesis
either.
concerned the
I
Allied
don't either.
civilization as Alisai says, oh, you're back. Jiraiya says I didn't. A thesis was required to earn my Archon's mark. My peers at the Students of Baldician convinced me to write one with the promise of unfettered. Jiraiya says though I considered it no more than a means to an end at the time, I will admit it was gratifying to have my efforts acknowledged. Alisai says good gods, an Archon's thesis. I shudder to imagine the work involved. But Jiraiya says yes. Owen's archive node. Jiraiya says if a copy of his report still survives, it would be stored in this device. Archive says initializing. Scanning. Archive says user not found. To proceed as a guest, please. Archive says verifying.
When does the dailies
Authentication
reset?
complete. Guest identified as member of the royal family.
Um,
I am at your most hum.
3
Jiraiya says
p.m. server time.
It never ceases to amuse me.
So
Doga and Une said as much
8
when
a.m.,
they
okay.
granted me this gift. But until such
9
time
hours.
as it fades, I shall use.
I think.
Jiraiya says
Okay.
search archive for iconic corruption. Archive
8.5.
says searching. One item found, iconic corruption. Archive says the report is locked by the author. Alisai says well, go on then, your highness. Jiraiya says right. Glory be to Alec. Jiraiya says long live Emperor Xanda. Archive says password incorrect. Jiraiya
How do
says
we
confound
start?
it.
Oh yeah, I remember. I was the one who started this one.
Alisai says come now. Passwords are invariably short and Alisai says password. Archive says the notion that the password could be something so inane would be laughable were it not dangerously stupid. Furthermore, your conduct in the presence of His Highness is grossly inappropriate. Alisai says what did that thing just call me? Archive says password incorrect. Again. Be warned that any further inappropriate behavior in the presence of His Highness will. Alisai says alright, that's it? I say we dismantle it.
There's
Jiraiya
a
says now.
fun train
now,
going on
let's
in
not be too
El Mag
hasty.
right now.
A single
Funny thing
believe
is,
this may be a task for Sid and
funny
his
thing
colleagues.
is, I reported over half the
If
hunt
anyone
rate
can coax
myself
Machina
just
into
in the Discord.
cooperating,
I literally even got tagged.
Jiraha says come, let us bear the node back to...
I actually even got tagged in the Discord because I have how many I had actually reported.
Jiraha says I should probably mention that I have yet to meet Sid since waking up. Rambros did send word to the Ironworks, but it appears our friend has been afield. Jiraha says nevertheless, I assure you my proposal to seek his help is no pretext, however much I might look forward to seeing him again. Him and every... Elisai says he. Look at him.
Abba's network has been
Still,
overtaken by
it wouldn't do to
fucking
keep him
nerds.
waiting.
Star Trek. Oh, I missed that one. Oh, I can't. Oops.
Jiraha says wonderful news, Haven. Tatara contacted Sid on our behalf, and he is on his way here even as we speak. Jiraha says while we wait, I should like very much to hear what transpired at the Alliance Council. Would you be so kind, Kryl? Kryl says as you know, the meeting was convened to discuss how best to respond to recent events in Garland. According to intelligence from our Doman allies, the War of Succession rages on, and the Empire remains without amidst the chaos, the Imperial legions in the provinces have begun to move independently of the motherland. Of greatest concern to us is the IIIRD, a legion aligned with Lord Nerva. It appears they have received substantial financial back. Elisai says Brutus. Aren't they the ones who took in Yatsuyu and Asai? Kryl says Xenos' movements, meanwhile, remain shrouded in mystery. We're hoping that then Kred and Urianger will be able to shed some light on his... Kryl says until such time as they do, the Allied leaders feel it would be unwise to interfere in the conflict. And so, thanks in part to the Imperial withdrawal from Gimlight, they have decided to turn their attention to the... Working with friendly factions among the beast tribes, they hope to reopen dialogue and explore new avenues for peace. Given the timing,
they didn't change
I
the
suspect
tax.
they
They
wish
still
to
call
put
it the
their
beast tribe
respective
here.
houses in order ahead of a decisive clash with the Empire. Kryl says whatever their intent, this is not a problem easily solved. The Laman Sans, in particular, struggle in their efforts, and Alphanod. Alisai says so long as we are dealing with the tempered, I'm afraid no amount of dialogue. But if we can develop a treatment for tempering, then anything is possible. Jiraha says, which is why we must succeed. Tataru says, and on that cheery note, why not make yourselves comfortable in Dawn's respite? I'll show Sid.
Reviving the legacy, Dawn's respect.
Jiraha says, Sid.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Sid says,
Can
forgive
you
us for not
find out
coming
what
to see
song
you
this
sooner,
is?
my friend. As you may have heard,
I
in
want
our
this for
defense,
a
you are
role.
up rather early. I was under the impression
song?
you'd be slumbering
The
a
song
while.
is playing during this cutscene right now.
Jiraha says, oh, I would have been, had you not. Sid says, ha. I still struggle with that idea. From where I stand, the secrets of traversing time and space seem, but if an alternate version of myself has already laid them bare, I dare say that frees me up to concentrate on other endeavors. Speaking of which, you wanted my help with something.
Dude, your text-to-speech is annoying.
I know.
Sid says, well, a treatment for tempering. And for the next step, you need to find the... Jiraha says, just so. With nary a clue to guide us, we could be here forever and still not guess correctly. Sid says, well, I'd love to say that we could help you, so I will. Once suitably configured, a Magitech terminal should make short...
I'm gonna...
Jiraha says, I knew I could rely on you. Now, anticipating that it might be of use, I took the liberty of borrowing a tombstone from Rambros. Sid says, good thinking. I'll transfer the information to a terminal and set it to...
Yeah, it doesn't say it on the wiki.
Ah, looks like it's finished. Let's... Freedom. The password is freedom. Alisai says, ha. Short and simple, just as I said. Jiraha says, I would, milady. Node, open the report entitled Iconic Corruption, an overview. Archive says password accepted. Owen says this report seeks to provide an overview of the mechanism by which icons corrupt and bind men to their will. The phenomenon we call corruption refers to the alteration of the ether of the soul. Said ether ordinarily exists in equilibrium, no one element being more prominent than another. But when a subject is exposed to the ether of an icon, this changes,
Yeah, I can't
their
even
soul
find it on
taking
Reddit.
on the properties of the entity in question. By way of an example, exposure to the ether of the fiend, Sephiroth, would cause a subject's ether to become aligned with the element of As a consequence, the subject would attain heightened affinity with Earth aspect magics, as well as preternatural levels of endurance. Repeated exposure would further enhance these traits, ultimately altering
Legend of the Eternal Wind, technically speaking.
Yeah.
It's a reprise of Final Fantasy III's main theme.
Owen says the
That's
changes
why I know
undergone by the
that.
subject
Oh my
are not
God.
solely attributable to elemental alignment, however.
That's why I
Further
know
testing
that.
has determined that the subject's soul becomes umbrally charged, or
And 3
Owen
is
says the
one
stagnation
of my
the soul has
favorite
the effect
original.
of diluting the sense of self,
Okay, so I got
rendering
it.
the subject
It's the
vulnerable
map
to
theme.
the
It's
will
called
of the
Eternal
icon,
Wind for
the
the
thoughts of whom
Final
come
Fantasy
to consume
XIV
their
soundtrack.
entire existence.
So let me shoot you the link on Discord
Owen
to the
says
video.
in this manner do the corrupted
good.
become
'Cause it
worshippers of the icon, their prayers serving to further empower the entity.
And does it come as a voice in the orchestra or
Having discerned the mechanism
There
of
you go.
iconic corruption, my colleagues and I set out to develop a material capable of shielding one from its effects. An endeavor in which we were successful, albeit at great cost. In the course of testing, many of my assistants, good men and women all, fell victim to corruption.
Yes,
And in accordance with protocol,
Hi, baby.
Owen says I subsequently submitted a proposal to investigate potential cures for corruption, but it was rejected, deemed non-essential.
I can get as a
Though I knew it would be fruitless, I protested the decision. And for my impertinence, I have been stripped of rank and title, and will shortly be expelled from this. In all likelihood, this report will be expunged from the archives. Nonetheless, I record it in the hope that one day, someone will undertake to do that which I could not, and find a cure for the victims of iconic corruption.
I need a grade 3 orchestra roll?
Jiraiya says so
Damn.
not even the Alligans were able to find a cure. Or rather, were not given the chance to do so. One cannot help but... Alisai says more importantly, this confirms that stagnation of the soul is indeed the problem, and Jiraiya says true. Yet were we simply to reanimate a tempered soul, I fear it would do naught to diminish the individual's fanatical faith. Jiraiya says no, we would somehow need to suppress the primal's hold over the subject at the same time, or risk them ever remain. But of course, memory transference. The process has the effect of compartmentalizing memories, separating them into By adapting the technique, it may be possible to achieve selective reanimation. That is, limit the effects to only those memories that existed prior. Jiraiya says through thus restoring the sense of self, we could theoretically drown out the incitements of false faith which had come to dominate the individual's thoughts.
You gotta admit, it's
Alisai
really
says, I
fitting
see.
that like the Crystal
The theory
Tower
seems
story
sound.
arc.
And our experience treating the light corrupted would help us to identify
I'm listening.
Alisai says, but are you confident you can adapt memory transference as required? I
Oh.
seem to recall your attempts to do
What
so
I was
while
gonna say is
trying
in
to
the
bring us
description
home
of this,
culminated in literal. Jiraiya says they
the
did.
video that I sent you.
You are right.
The entire Crystal Tower
Despite my
story
best
arc finished
efforts,
off with
I could
the,
not recreate the mechanism.
well, technically it's the map
and
theme
I concede
of
that
the
the
game it
rather
originated
clumsy
from.
compromise I
Yep, it's true.
Alisai says then perhaps it's better that we consider another approach. Jiraiya says your doubts
I
are
love
understandable,
Final Fantasy
but this time I believe we have reason to be. Jiraiya
four.
says you see, nodes such as this were built with the ability to which
kinda
leads
wanna
me to
play
believe that it may be
classic
capable
Final
of performing
Fantasy
simulations of the transference technique.
Yeah.
If so, we would be able to conduct years' worth of tests within the space of a few days. Sid says in theory, it would be no different from how we, but it'll take more calculating power. A lot more. I honestly couldn't say whether our equipment would. Jiraiya says, tell me, Sid. Why do you suppose? Oh, Sid says to keep it from prying eyes, of course. Wait. A password that could be guessed by anyone with leisure and a dictionary wouldn't keep it from a person minded to look. No, he wanted his report to be seen, by those who strive for. Jiraiya says, not unlike the members of a certain distinguished engineering collective. I believe their motto was freedom through technology. Sid says, you too, round up as many Magitech terminals as you can find and bring them to the. Wedge says, right away, Chief. Sid says things are about to get very busy. Lucky.
Oh. Another man fell in love with.
Sid says, right, while Jiraiya and I configure the terminals, I want the rest of you to procure supplies. Sid says, namely, ceruleum to fuel the terminals and ice shards to keep them cool. The more we have of both, the better. Kryl says, leave the ice shards to me. I'll round up some adventurers and go on a gathering spree. Sid says, in that case, I'll trust Haven and Elisai with the ceruleum. Here's a promissory note for each of you. Sid says, take them to the Sky Steel Manufactory in Ishgard and the ceruleum processing plant in Then Allen. The people there will give you what we need. Elisai says, yours is a well-known face in the Holy See, I believe. If it's all the same to you, I'll head to Then Allen.
Jesus, how much stuff did I have sitting in my armory chest?
Promelot says you stand in the Sky Steel Manu factory. What is it you require? So you are after ceruleum. In that case, please present the note to our engineer at the airship landing. He shall be glad to assist you.
Oh, I've got the hiccups.
Sky Steel says ceruleum. You've come to the right man. Fair warning, though, the price has shot up on account of the uncertainty with the Empire, so I hope you've got the coin. Well now, a promissory note from the Iron Works. Don't see many of these. Not that it's a problem, it's as good as gold to me.
My friend! After the disappointment of not seeing you in Alamigo, what good fortune to chance upon you here of all places. As you may have heard, the Allied nations are making a renewed effort to address the primal problem. To that end, have I invited the chieftain of the Vanu to Ishgard, that we might together plot a course. Since the war with the Empire appears to be nearing its conclusion, I would also like to call upon Estinian's lance. Alas, he is, as ever, a difficult man to find. I am informed he recently paid a visit to the Rising Stones. Should he happen to do so again, be sure to pass on my regards, won't you? But tell me, what business brings you to our fair city this day? A cure for tempering. You never cease to amaze me. Until now, our only hope has been prevention, our every failure irrevocable. But this would rewrite the rules of engagement. It could end the cycle of bloodshed. Very well. You shall have all the ceruleum we can provide, and an airship with which to transport it. In this matter, you may count on Ishgard's full support.
Who would have thought ceruleum weighed so much? Serves me right for being stubborn, I suppose. I should have just done what you did and accepted help.
Good work, you two. This is all we asked for and more. Quite a lot more now that I look at it. Lord Emmerich, eh? And entirely by chance. Ha! Some people have all the luck.
We have also succeeded in configuring the terminals, thanks in no small part to our able assistant.
It's been a while, hero.
Hey, Nero.
You seem surprised to see me. Lest you misunderstand, I've no interest in such things as cures for tempering. But if you mean to achieve that which eluded even the storied Allagans, it seemed plain that you would require my expertise. And so it proved. Is that not right, Garland?
For all the effort it took to track you down after your latest disappearing act, you could find the cure for death, and it wouldn't be worth the trouble.
That wasn't the only reason I agreed to cooperate. I'm reliably informed that Garland and I are destined to unravel the secrets of travel, not only across dimensions, but through time. Doubtless the lion's share of the credit lies with me. 9 paths to Garland's 1. And this research will be a stepping stone to that illustrious achievement.
Very well then. I'll do 1/10 of the work. Just the part that's beyond you.
Whatever you say, Garland.
Right. If everyone's ready, let's begin.
Are you still in the Novice Network?
Yeah.
Look at my most recent comment.
All appears to be in order. Now, we just have to wait for it to find us our magic. Why not take this opportunity to put your feet up? This may take a while.
What the fuck? What
This-
is that fuck?
What? Then what the fuck is that because of my comment?
Yes!
What, I'm just...
Instead, so that no more blood is shed. Let's have open arms instead.
Come on, what's the difference? Basically, almost like 99% of Americans all have guns. Don't they?
We do not, but it would also be a felony if we did because Josh is disabled.
No!
We can't have a gun.
We'll have to shut it down. Wait! We're close! So very close! Oh.
Well, this is going swimmingly.
Please, a moment longer. I beg you. There.
No. Your very presence has doomed the king, Prince. We don't fight fair.
I was able to memorize the magic before it faded. It still needs to be put to the proof, but I believe we have our cure.
It's just as well. She'll never run again.
The fault is mine. I'm sorry.
Don't be. It may fall short of dimension hopping, but a cure for tempering is not to be sniffed at. This, my friend, is a world-changing discovery. One we're proud to have had a hand in. A few Magitech terminals are a pittance to pay.
Thank you.
We've done what we can. The rest is up to you.
Reviving the legacy is done. What's next? Forget me not, forget us not.
Elisai says at long last, we have our cure. Jiraha says in theory, at any rate. We cannot be certain until such time as we put it to the proof, but I am quietly confident. Elisai says well, if we're to test it on someone, then I suggest Ga Buletin. His symptoms are relatively mild. Yes. As long as we exercise due caution, it will be fine. Without further ado, then, let's make for Limsa. We've kept Ga Buletin waiting long. Fire Shark Papito Fire Papito this Fire Shark Papito Fire Shark Papito this
Cool.
Elisai says well, this is the moment of truth. I'll have our hosts bring Ga Buletin to us at once.
Apologies for the wait. Gabu, have you been good?
Still no change, I'm afraid. He just stands there in silence until we move him.
It's all right now. We're going to help you get better.
fancy meeting you here.
Alphino Yushtola! I thought you were attending to primal matters.
We were, and came here for a meeting on the subject. Certain pirate factions did not deign to attend, however, and it was cancelled.
We had resigned ourselves to having wasted a journey when we chanced to espy you. Could it be that there has been progress with the treatment? Using Magitech terminals to formulate the solution. I would never have contemplated such an approach.
So this new magic, adapted from memory transference, would be used to purge the subject of their fanatical faith, while Angelo would be responsible for reanimating the ether of their soul. Yet I wonder at the practicalities. If one were to reanimate the soul first, it would only serve to exacerbate the tempering. Conversely, a stagnant soul would not respond to the effects of the magic. Would both need to be performed simultaneously?
Ah, nothing escapes Master Matoya's inquiring eye. As you say, both must be carried out simultaneously. And thus, I propose to imbue Angelo with the tempering treatment in much the same manner as I did the spirit vessels.
By doing so, we also spare Graha the trouble of casting spell after spell. It's really rather efficient.
Be that as it may, certain difficulties are unavoidable. The imbuing process will still require no small amount of ether. And, as I can no longer draw upon the Crystal Tower's stores of energy, I will be compelled to rely on those of others.
Well, I, for one, would be glad to assist.
As would I. Since the resumption of our duties, it has been naught but stuffy meetings, and I have ample ether to spare.
Excellent. With your permission, then, let us begin. Yes, this will do. And now, it's my turn. Tis done.
No small amount indeed. Oh.
Well, we seek to go where even the Allegans did not. It was never like to be easy. The rest is up to you, Alize. The treatment itself will take time and focus, so we will need a quiet room. I'm sure our hosts can spare one. I will go with her. It may be a while before we return, so I would ask for your patience and your faith.
We'll bring Gabu back. You see if we don't.
'Twould seem our part is played. Let us find a place to recuperate while we wait for news.
Alphanod says, well, this seems as good a spot as any to have a rest.
For years, Eorzea has labored to find a solution to the primal problem, without success. Any hope that tempering could be reversed faded long ago. I myself had given it up as impossible. Given up on the tempered and the light-corrupted alike. They were problems to be tolerated, or else eliminated, I believed. And to think otherwise was pure naivety. Childishness, even. But Alisaie refused to give up. She struggled and she struggled. And her efforts were rewarded with a way to bring back Halric. And now countless others may no longer be beyond salvation. However much we bicker, I have the greatest respect for my sister. Had I half her stubbornness, nay, her unwillingness to accept the status quo, I would be a far better person. A far better scion. She told you of my graduation thesis. How very embarrassing. Nonetheless, it is comforting and not a little surprising to hear that I'm still capable of impressing my sister. On the rare occasions I'm not annoying her, that is. Alisaie, are you all right?
The treatment. Did it work?
Oh, I'm so glad to see you all. Delighted, happy, glad.
Gaboo!
All this time, my mind was filled with thoughts of Great Father Titan. But I never forgot about Mother and Father. Always, they were in my heart. Constantly, ever, always. So I tried to focus on their faces. Theirs and yours. Alisaie's and everyone's. And I found that I could remember. One thing, then another, and another.
Your hopes reached Gaboo. They helped him to hold on.
I'm so proud of you, Gaboo.
I couldn't have done it without you, Alisaie. Can you help the others too? Cure them, heal them, help them?
Yes, we can. All of them.
Without wishing to dampen the mood, I feel compelled to add certain caveats regarding the viability of the treatment for general use. As you know, reversing the effects of tempering demands a profuse amount of ether, and while Alisaie was able to heal Gaboo alone, I fear the same will not be true for those who exhibit more advanced symptoms. Moreover, the treatment's effects are limited to the soul. It offers no succor to those whose very flesh has been altered through prolonged exposure to a primal's influence. All of which is to say that we cannot save everyone.
Maybe we can't, or maybe we can. No one gave us a hope of saving Gabu, and yet here we are. We must find a way to treat as many as possible.
Then, the next logical step would be to produce a veritable army of Porkses, would it not? Granted, it seemed a simple enough process in the first, but I suspect it will be different here in the source. Not that I am any authority, of course.
Yet there is an authority on familiars to whom we may grudgingly turn. She's stubborn, haughty, eccentric, irascible, laconic, annoying. And her name is Master Matoya, the real one.
I have to go now, Gabu, but the people here will look after you, all right? And I promise to come and visit you again soon.
All right. Thank you, Alize. Thank you.
Waishtala says as she will be at pains to remind me, I have not paid Master Matoya a visit since returning from the first. But this seems as good a time as any. Come, let us make for her cave.
Oh, you have a blue quest.
Painfully says, pardon the suddenness of my address, milady, but would you perchance be familiar with one Chloe Aliapo? It seems the word I bear will indeed be of interest to you, then. You see, Miss Aliapo has a new pet fox, and she has made it known that her most feel of acquaintances, which include me, naturally, are invited to regale him with tales for fantastical rewards. Surely Miss Aliapo believes her furry friend to share in her appreciation for tales of gallantry, and I dare say my heritage makes me something of an expert. Alas! The resemblance is simply too uncanny. My honor will not allow me to simply ignore the invitation, however, so I thought you might wait upon the fox in my stead. The children have taken to calling him Commander, for reasons most obvious. You will certainly know him when you see him. A small fox with an oddly haughty visage stands perched atop the counter. You squint, attempting to see the resemblance the man made reference. Foe says, if you all continue to stare at me so, I'm going to... Foe says, yes, yes, eek, a talking fox, this, 7 hells, that ain't natural, that. You are all so very melodramatic. I dare say if you were, but let us speak of yourself. You appear to match the, exhaustingly enthusiastic, descriptions Chloe has given me of the adventurer who tells her just the most wonderful stories. Then you are precisely the sort of person I set out to find, the sort with riveting tales to tell. And I am sorely in need of tales. Tales that inspire the mind, tales that tear at the heart, tales that grip the soul. Chloe says, oh. It's Chloe's bestest friend, Haven. The commander says he spends days and days and days talking to his other animal friends, but after so many days, all of them have run out of new stories to tell, and he's searching far and wide for new ones. Stories, that is, so really, he's just like Chloe. Isn't? Foe says, as I've said, my name is Soten. I swear, between you children and Rowena with her little joke, I'll never... Ahem. In any case, if I understand correctly, you have faced and bested all manner of fiends, including many gods of this land. Surely you have some tales worth my time. If you can weave me a tale most fantastical, I will grant you access to Foe Hollows, a whimsical adventure unto, or, strictly speaking, a game of chance that I designed. Regardless, make good use of your cunning, and luck, and I will conjure you Foe leaves as tokens of my esteem. As you have doubtless guessed, a sufficiency of leaves can... I believe that's the long and short of it, as the youths say, but don't get ahead of yourself. As I said, no ordinary story will do. I require tales to excite even those who are sung of in tales, so I expect you'll need to exercise. My guests care not about the authenticity of their entertainment, so dispense with the truth as you will. Just make sure to tell me your stories whilst they're still fresh in your mind. Embellishment is one thing, but continuity errors are... You now have access to Unreal Trials. These challenging encounters can be accessed via Unreal Trials are duties that challenge you to confront past foes, now more powerful than ever before. At the current available Unreal Trials will change with the release of each major patch. Once per week, you may speak to the Foe Commander after completing an Unreal Trial for the chance to play Foe Hollows. The availability of Foe Hollows can be confirmed at any time via the Raid Finder by viewing the details of any Unreal Trial. The completion status of Unreal Trials and availability of Foe Hollows will reset every Tuesday at 1 AM, Earth. For further details, please speak with the Foe Commander once more. May your imagination carry you beyond. Foe says ah. Yes, yes, I. TCH.
Where is it? I wonder. I don't see it in the list here.
Ah. Yes, yes, I sympathize, Foe Hollows. You wish to peruse the rewards I offer? Chloe said. Hey. A new wondrous. Weishtala says, I take it you are ready to bear witness to the joyous reunion of master and pupil? Very well.
Nary a word from you all this time, then you bring every man and his pirogo with you. Did no one teach you any manners, girl?
They were too busy teaching me etherology, Master. Jesting aside, I wanted to be the one to express our gratitude. I am told you spared no effort to sustain our bodies while we were away, and for that, we owe you our lives. Thank you.
You were gone so long. I was starting to think you'd set your heart on staying.
It wasn't easy to leave, as it happens. Seldom does one have the opportunity to study other worlds, and I would not have minded extending my stay by a handful of years.
Ever the scholar. Y'shtola dedicated herself to studying ancient civilizations of the First, befriending a tribe known as the Knights Blessed in the process. There she took on the name of Matoya and won the respect of all the children of the forest.
I merely adopted an alias in accordance with the custom of my hosts. Yours just happened to be the first name that came to mind.
You mean to tell me you went gallivanting about using my name and only bother to visit when you need a favor? And don't pretend you don't. I taught you long enough.
Indeed. And devoted pupil that I am, I could not fail to recall my master's sage advice. When the answer eludes you, look to the wisdom of your elders.
You there. Were you going to introduce yourself?
How remiss of me. Grahatia is my name, and I am proud to call myself a scion. I too wish to offer my gratitude for your invaluable aid in sustaining the Archon's bodies, as well as my apologies. It was my inexpert summoning spell which endangered their lives in the first place.
Ah, yes. The one bent on digging up the mysteries of Alag. Old Galaf used to speak of you, and Kryles told me all about your recent exploits. Do you have a bad back or something? At ease, boy. Whatever mess you've made, I'm not in the habit of dwelling on the failings of the younger generation.
Have a good night.
You are too kind. I've also heard much and more about you, Master Matoya. 'Tis an honor to finally make your acquaintance.
Well, that's more than enough pleasantries for anyone. Tell me what you want. I haven't got all day.
Have a good night, Brett.
So that's the way of it. It should be a simple enough matter to make the familiar. The magic, on the other hand.
Ah, that you may leave to me. Being the only one possessed of royal blood, I alone can imbue the subject with the necessary magic.
So I just need to create porxes with the power to stir the soul. Just, I say. Though we're talking about a veritable herd of the little buggers, we'd collapse before we reached double figures. But if I could get a familiar to create the familiars, a mother porxie, as it were. Seems I haven't seen the last of that moldy old hole after all.
Matoya says all right, off to my old workshop, then. Everything required to make your familiar is there. Waishtala says that may be, but no one has set foot in there since the Exodus. I dread to imagine what has become of it. Matoya says oh, there's sure to be a handful of feral familiars and mayhap a monster or two. But nothing to trouble the likes of you. You can consider cleaning up the place payment for my help. Alisai says fine. We'll do it. Matoya says good girl. Now, if there are no other objections, I suggest you run along to the Maker's Quarter. Matoya says I'll send one of my porogos ahead to let you into the workshop. You need only tell him who you are. One can't be too careful, after all. Off you go. Poro says greetings, Ribbit, and welcome to my good mistress's relict. Poro Rago is my name. Within you will find a space dedicated to the making of familiars, along with a cavern wherein the requisite ingredients may be had. I must warn you, however, that the place has not played host to a single soul, much less a broom, in over 15 years, but rest assured, my brothers and I shall see to it you do not lose your way. Now then, Ribbit. Only Kodoko says Mistress Tia. Master Kaime said he would call for you, but I did not believe you would come. You have proven me wrong, and for this I am grateful. I am Kodoko. Do not speak of this with Master Kaime, but in truth, commissioning from you a dress in the Ishgardian tradition was not his idea, but my own. To make a name for oneself here in the Hanamaki, mere skill at song and dance will not suffice. No, one must possess a unique quality, something to catch the eye of the audience, to stand above and distinguish oneself from the shrubs and the weeds. Master Kaime was quite taken with my idea. I would have been content with the dress alone, but he insisted on bringing you here in person, that you might tailor it especially to me. You do us both a great honor, and for this we thank you. I have but two simple requests. The bustle should be of the same color as the kimono I now wear, with a pattern evoking the wings of a butterfly. That is the meaning of my name, you see, a name given to me for my ephemeral beauty. Master Kaime will furnish you with the material you require. It is said that a Geiko's kimono is as a suit of armor is to a samurai, and let me assure you that the battles fought here in the Hanamaki are as fierce as those fought on any battlefield. The dress you fashion for me will be my armor. I place my very life in your hands. Kaime says you have spoken with Kodoko, I presume? What manner of dress did my butterfly request of you? Frills akin to a butterfly's wings. A most inspired idea, if I do say so myself. Kodoko is an ambitious girl, and most particular about the garments she wears. It is no small task, but I have full confidence in your ability to fashion a dress that will help her rise above the crowd. Kaimei says, needless to say, Daytanya is honored to provide you with any materials you require free of charge. You need but speak to my man Yaguri here and inform him of your needs. Yaguri says, Daytanya welcomes you, honored guest. I am Yaguri. The young master has instructed me to provide you with the materials you require for his butterfly's bustle. I do believe this should suffice. The young master has imported some of the finest Uldan silks especially for this occasion. Should your work, and Kodoko's dancing prowess, capture the public eye, he believes that a new wind will blow in Kyogane, so to speak. It is his dream to see the girl become the face of a new age of aesthetic ideals. That said, not all approve of the young master's aspirations. When he first declared his intention to deal in Eorzean fabrics and fashions, the reaction from some of Kyogane's more conservative artisans and merchants was far from encouraging. Still, Master Kaimei will not be deterred in his vision, and those of us who share his sensibilities would have it no other way. May the Kami guide your needle, that Daytanya might usher in a new era in Hingashi. Should you require additional fabrics, you need but say the word. To proceed with the quest, use the materials provided by Yaguri to craft an elegant bustle. Should your synthesis efforts prove unsuccessful, speak with Yaguri once more to receive another set of materials. To begin the crafting process, select logs from the main menu, followed by crafting Kaimei says, the job is done, you say? Splendid. My heart has not stopped pounding since you began work. You must show me what you have wrought before it bursts. Kaimei says, remarkable. Why, it is so light and gossamer it seems about to take flight. I would have Kodoko try it on at once. Yaguri, send a messenger to the Hanamaki with all haste. Kodoko says, what say you, young master? Kaimei says, beyond my wildest dreams, my dearest Kodoko. The inimitable elegance of an Ishgardian countess, combined with the fragile grace of a fluttering butterfly, you shimmer and shine with the beauty of two. Wear this dress at your first public appearance as a Gaiko, and all in attendance will lose themselves in rapturous bliss, I am certain of it. Kodoko says, you are most kind, young master. I feared that such extravagant attire might not suit me, but my fears are no more. I am honored to begin my new life as a Gaiko. To the both of you, this I promise, I will not let your generous gift go to waste. Yes, Kodoko shall spread her wings and fly high, ushering In honing your aesthetic sensibilities as a weaver, you have learned quality assurance. Kaimei says, "Ah, Mistress Tia. As proof of this, my butterfly has received the most prestigious of invitations, a call to perform at the inaugural Keiko Odori. The Keiko Odori is to be a celebration of the opening of Kyogana's port to the world, and an ideal opportunity to introduce our cultural traditions to foreign dignitaries and luminaries who have just recently arrived on Hingan shores. Only the most accomplished and celebrated Geiko are being chosen for this occasion. For a fledgling such as Kodoko to receive the call, this can only be a sign that a new dawn is breaking before our eyes. When my butterfly makes her debut before the world, none but the finest of dresses will do. Might I commission your services once more, Mistress Tia? I would trust the job to none other." Kaimei says, as before, "The particulars of the design I shall leave to Kodoko herself. Clearly, the girl possesses an unparalleled eye for fashion. Pray visit her in the Hanamaki and see what she has in mind." Kodoko says, "It is an honor to welcome you back, friend. The bustle you fashioned for me has caught the eye of many. Night after night am I summoned by the wealthiest merchants and landowners of Kyogana, who would spare no expense to spend a night in my company." Kodoko says, "But why limit myself to my own countrymen, when there is a whole world out there to enthrall and entrance? If I can win the favor of our honored guests at the Keiko Odori, there is no telling the heights to which I may soar. Dreams I never dared to dream will be within my reach." Kodoko says, "However, one matter concerns me. I am accustomed to dancing in inns and tea houses, and yet these festivities will be held outdoors, under the open sky. I wonder, what manner of dresses are preferred for such an occasion in your homeland?" Kodoko says, "I see. Yes, on a wide open stage, I cannot afford to wear a garment that might restrict my range of motion. A dress of light, supple fabric would certainly suffice. Whatever would one call such a garment, might I ask?" "A spring dress, you say? How very delightful. It calls to mind cherry blossoms dancing and..." Yamamizu says, "Hi." Beefy says, "Oh slash." Diverting all power to cannons. Livia says my lord was quite taken with you and the power you possess, the echo. Naturally, I could not help but wonder whom this prince, only to discover that you are but another adventurer. No better than the multitude. Yet in spite of this, the masses hold you their champion, and shower honors upon your head. How is it that you could be such a thorn in our side? Wherever you appear, you leave havoc in your wake. You even slew Rewritten, one of our, well, I will not speculate. Truth be told, I couldn't care less how you have done these things. What matters to me is, if you are allowed to continue, you will eventually deprive me of all that I have toiled for, all that is mine by my minions, my comrades, even my, well, you cannot have him. His dreams and ambitions, his body and soul, they are mine, do you hear? I lost everything once before. I will not suffer it to happen. I will kill you, adventurer. Only your death. Yamamizu says GGTYFP, smiley face. Beefy says TYBM.